Hi, my name is Leilani, and in this video I'm going to share with you my homeschool room. I'm going to share with you also how I organize some of the stuff. I'm going to give you some tips, why I organize things the way I did. Now this room is not going to be perfect and pristine and just, it's not going to be one of those, what do they call them, those satisfying it's not going to be that, okay? But it is going to be practical. So if that's what you're looking for, practicality, this is what you're going to get with this video. So I do have 4 kids. I am a former public and private school teacher, and this year officially I have been homeschooling longer than I was a public school teacher. That's right. So I do have a 12-year-old, I do have an 11-year-old, I do have an 8-year-old, and my 5-year-old has Down syndrome, so there's a lot of accommodations in here that I'm gonna be showing you. We also have ADHD and, you know, the boy syndrome where they can't sit still, so I'm gonna show you some accommodations as we go through that. And let's just go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you're gonna notice behind me is I do have these cabinets. These are IKEA cabinets, and there's 4 of them just placed right up here. Underneath the cabinets, there is some lighting. It just doesn't look good on camera, but I will show you. We have it. Ta-da! That's the lighting. That's for them. Just give them a little bit of extra lighting when they're doing their work. What the heck, I'll keep it on, I'll keep it on. And on this wall, as you can see, I've added a little bit of their artistic decor just to give it some flair. And then I have their book bags down here. Now we do a lot of car schooling because my youngest daughter has to go to a lot of therapies, and we just have our stuff ready to go right here. Nice and easy and just quick, grab it, go. So on top of the cabinets, I know it's not super organized, but there's a method to my madness. It's basically paint supplies and anything that could potentially spill and make a mess, including bubbles. But I have all their canvases up here, old artwork, that kind of stuff. And we do have a subscription to a kid's art box, and we are a little bit behind. And we also have Tinker crates, and once again, we're a little bit behind, so they just kind of sit there, and when we have a chance, we get them out. So in this first cabinet, what I've done is organize stuff for my daughter, the youngest, the 5-year-old. She needs a lot of hands-on stimulation, fine motor skill building. So if you see, we have 2 boxes of Play-Doh. That's right, 2 boxes of Play-Doh, and then we have an art supply kit. So right here, we're gonna have a bunch of just fine motor, hands-on, extra supplies, and then her coloring books and her books. I also have a big old thing of crayons right there, so. All right, in the next cabinet right here is where I have stuff for my other kids. Of course, on top, I've got some crafts and some fun little supplies that I can pull out here and there. But I have all my kids labeled. So Ethan, Isaac, Hannah, and this is just extra stuff. And actually all of their books are ready to go for the school year. Easy, just, I know Isaac doesn't have much and I'll explain why, but quick, easy, pull out, it's good to go. In the next cabinet, I've got some more, these are more games and math activities. This is our morning basket, which I conveniently placed up here, and I'll do a video on this later on. But just like I said, games, activities, those kind of things, and reference material, which right now has just become teacher manuals. And these are all their school supplies in the last cabinet. So we've got the glue and tape, the pencils, craft pencils, some little boxes that we got from IKEA. The top one is stickers, and then office supplies. Okay, I love these. Do you see them? They're music notes, they're paper clips. I'm obsessed. I've had these actually since I was a teacher. I use them, but it's taking a while to get through because I'm very protective of these, but they're so cool. Of course, I just do a big old giant box of all of their pencils, colored pencils, erasers, crayons, because it's just easier. This is the scissors, and this is Sharpies and Expo markers. So I try my best to keep these organized. You know, when you're going around the house and kind of cleaning things up and you find them, you can easily just throw them in here. I have everything labeled. It just makes life easier for me because I don't have to get so detailed. It just throw it in the bin, throw it in the bin. Now, down here, my son has kind of taken this area over, my 12-year-old. He does a lot of coding on the computer. That's kind of one of his favorite things, and this is his quiet spot right here. My other son is more active. He does use this computer every once in a while. Same with my daughter, but this is my son's quiet area. So as you can see, he really likes the Constitution, so we have it back there. And all of this stuff right here, it's kind of like their special computer, and it's a mix match. I mean, for example, you've got the IEW structure and style folder in here because they do structure and style by the computer, yet you're going to have a book about the Middle Ages in here because we're going to do the Middle Ages, and it's just kind of almost like a family basket. But also my son's personal devotional is in here as well. We've got a bag of pins from Not Consumed Ministries and lots of other random things. This is their Spanish folders. And then, of course, he's decorated it on the back with his style. I do let my kids have a say on how things are decorated, and I think that's one thing that's very unique with our homeschooling. Now, I could have easily just said to them, you know what, this is where it goes, and we're done, you deal with it, or you just deal with it, okay? No, instead, I've allowed my kids to kind of design things, like, for example, you saw the desk, but another example, which I didn't mention, is this used to be just a crayon and colored pencil container. Now, obviously, we've added pencils to the mix. It's just easier to throw in here. But my kids took a pencil box. One of theirs became the colored pencil box, and they put this together, and when they're not using it, they throw it inside this container, but when it's a grab and go situation where we have to go to therapy and they want to color, they grab it and go. Another thing that has happened, they kind of decide what is considered office supplies and what isn't. So this is the office supply box, but they decided scissors are not office supplies at all. So they go into this basket, which goes in between the market baskets. Also, you may have noticed this right here. One of my kids made this, and they have put a bunch of pencils in there and pens in there. It's not beautiful, but they're proud of it. I mean, it is beautiful. It's beautiful because they made it and it's amazing, but it's not something that's pleasing to the eye when you walk into a room, but it's so practical. I also have a toy here. This toy has been here forever. So a lot of the times when my kids are working, my youngest daughter wants to come up here and be a part of all of this. And she doesn't always want to just color all the time with them. So she has this little toy, and it has little Rapunzel characters, and she'll play with this up here while they do their work. So there's that. I don't know where they are, but we also do have some fidget toys that may linger in this box here and there. That's something that they brought down to kind of help keep them focused when they're doing their work. So let's go ahead and just move on. So this right here is our amazing bulletin board. I love it. It's huge. It takes up like the entire wall. But we did put some magnetic letters up here. I have no clue why I got them from Target last year or the year before. They're just pretty. They're not practical. I mean, they could be, but we haven't really used them for any practical reasons yet. They're just pretty. I used to write all of their school assignments on it. Now we've kind of moved away from that because they're keeping track of their own stuff. But my youngest daughter will get up here and she'll draw like crazy, and it's great. So we still use it. This is my youngest daughter, her shelf. Now, of course, the other kids will jump in here and join in on the fun, but this is mostly her stuff. Now, I don't show you this, but the older kids do have a playroom that is mostly made up of their stuff. It's Legos. It's basically Legos right now. Let's just be honest. And my daughter, my 8-year-old, does have a Calico Critters house that she'll play with every once in a while, but it's also mostly Legos. But this is the area where Naomi has her toys, stuff to develop her fine motor skills and all those things. So we have everything from a mushroom, gear toys with pins that she can kind of put together. We have a bag of scarves for dancing. We have puzzles, we have magnadoodles. These are amazing right here. These are puzzles that you can do with letters. And she loves doing this. We do this on the swing. There's a lot of things. You can check out some of my older videos to see what we've done with this. Up here we have a puzzle globe. We have some extra supplies that I will use for the calendar, as well as some markers for the board, and then just little extra stuff that I need to pull out. I've got some ribbons in here for ribbon dancing, and then my coconut tree. That's something I use when I read her favorite book, which is Chicka Chicka Boom Boom, right here, favorite book. But of course we've got like a ton of books right here. This is not all of them, because all of my kids in their bedrooms have shelves. They're like little, they're probably like this tall shelves, but it's covered in books. Covered in books. These are the overflow, and most of them are Naomi's book. So we have everything in here from The Adventures of Harry and Friends to some Usborne. She's obsessed with cars and things that go. I have some Answers in Genesis in here, as well as, I know, sometimes it's really nice to see like the perfect alignment of the books. A lot of people really love seeing this, especially on YouTube videos. But this is what it really looks like in my household. And yes, she does put these back when she's done. So you're gonna find things that are, you're gonna find a sticker sheet in there is what you're gonna find. You're gonna find things in here backwards. So this is her corner. We also do have a Tinker Crate poster right here, body poster, and these are just some of the things she made. And we have a map up there. Oh, and this is her box for So Happy to Learn, her curriculum. I have a couple videos on that. It's right here. She loves it. This is her reading program. And when we do it, we sit down. Actually, I don't think you can see. There's a table right here. And this is her table that she uses when we do her work. This is our therapy swing. So first of all, not ashamed to admit that this thing probably needs to be replaced. There's a giant hole in there. All right, we've had this forever, and even though we bought it for Naomi, all of my kids use this thing. Most of these holes were formed by pencils being poked through them. And they'll sit any which way in this thing. The fabric doesn't really rip too much, so I'm not too... I think the reason this hole is so big is because my kids have made it big. It is almost time to buy a new one. Oh, sorry, Alexa. I hit Alexa. Probably not a good place for you. Let's move you. The only thing that I want to show you now is the closet. I have a giganto closet where I keep a lot of my homeschool supplies, and that's because I do teach at Homeschool Co-op. I've been teaching for over 10 years. I've collected so much stuff, but I also store so much stuff because people give me a lot of things. I keep it, and then it seems like when anybody's over at my house and they want to see my special closet, I end up giving them stuff. Or, you know, like saying you can borrow this, but I never ask for it back. I'm kind of that person. So let's go look at my closet and I'll show you. I can get up. It's not a problem. This is my homeschool closet. No one else, just my, well, I mean, there's some holiday boxes at the bottom, but other than that, it's my closet. It is right next to, if you can see, it's right next to that room, so it's easy for me to just jump here and grab and go, but let me show you a little bit of the fun stuff that I have set up in here. So this right here, giganto telescope that I love so dearly. I don't want to leave it in the garage, so it stays inside the house. I also have 3 guitars back here, and I have a drum pad. This right here is paper. So construction paper, wide ruled and college ruled. And I'm gonna go ahead and open these up as we get to the point where we need them so the kids can grab and go when they need them. I do like having them in the closet because I feel like they can find them. It's put away, but it's not put away, and it's easy to access. It's that kind of thing. I've got some games, just the fun, more educational type games. Most of the games are upstairs because we like to play the board games upstairs in the loft. This is more like, you know, schooling type games. Of course, I got a binding machine. I got a laminator back there. I got so many books. Here's all my books. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them. I forgot to mention these drawers. My kids have actually organized these drawers according to them. So the top drawer is gonna be, well, it's this thing right here. But you've got this drawer is gonna be one of my kids. This one is gonna be another kid. This is another kid. And this is some extra Bible study type things. So not only does this thing help with posture, it does actually, but it helps keep the jiggles out. So kids that are sensory seekers, they're always constantly wanting to find something to satisfy that need. So for example, some of them need to be touched, some of them need to fidget, some of them need to physically bounce up and down, and they can't focus until they get those needs, those senses met. We love it. They fight over it. It's awesome. So this is our homeschool room. Hope this was helpful. Of course, if you guys have any questions whatsoever, write them down in the comment section below, or if there's something that caught your eye and you want to kind of highlight it, leave it in the comment section down below. I do have some stuff in the description box. If you're interested in looking at some of those links, check those out if you need to. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel and you're interested in learning more about homeschooling, even homeschooling kids that have special needs, I've got you. I got you here. I'm gonna encourage you. We do come from a biblical Christian worldview, so we're gonna talk a lot about those things. And there's a lot of videos where I just share my heart one-on-one with you and what's going on with our lives and how we can encourage each other. I love my audience tremendously, and we got each other's back, so to speak, over here. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna stick some videos around my face that I think you guys might enjoy. And until then, I will see you in my next video. Bye.